Hello, everyone. Today I have Joe from 3D Chat Buddy. I'm super grateful to have him on the show. I appreciate him for his time, and it sounds like he's got a pretty awesome product. And I wanted to bring this to you for the audience to see and to hear about. I want to hear about his story, how he got started with this, and where he's at, where he's going to be. So I'm super excited to introduce you to Joe. Joe, say hello to everyone.
Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm from Los Angeles, California. Thanks for having me on board, Tony. It means a lot.
Of course, yeah. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much. So I always like to start off, with the top 10 with Tony. It's kind of funny, but the first very famous question I like to ask is, what is your one word opener? So if you could tell our listeners, what is the one word that's on top of mind for you? I would love for you to share that with us before we dive in.
Innovation.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Perfect. So as we're going in, tell us how you got started in this business.
Yeah, so ever since I was young, I was always fond with technology. In fact, when I was 18 years old, I wanted to get the Garmin GPS system installed on my phone for free because at that age, you don't have a part-time or full-time job. I was still living under my parents' roof. And I spent 3 restless nights to find a hack. Luckily, I did. I cracked the code and I was able to install the full GPS system on my Nokia phone. Yes, at the time it was the so-called iPhone, and I still like this phone until this day because it can do some pretty cool stuff that most people don't know of. But anyways, I installed it on that system, and it was a huge milestone for me because I did something out of the ordinary. And until this day, Tony, I don't know if graduating from high school was more memorable than cracking the code, but I'll let you guys be the judge on that. And then from there, when I was in college, I built my first gaming PC, given that I had no knowledge on how to do it, combining all the various components and making sure that they properly function. But my background, what's crazy is that my background's not in IT. My background's in accounting. So when I graduated from college, I had an accounting degree, and I worked for one of the big four companies called Ernst & Young. I was grilled at that job. I was working 90 to 100 hours a week. I hated my life. It was miserable. I wanted to kill myself. That's how bad it was. And so in 2015, it was an enlightening moment because I was still kind of in my mid 20s. And I told myself, you know what? This cannot, go on forever. Otherwise, I'm just going to die really early. And you only live life once. So you might as well make the best out of it. I did something very audaciously. I took a stance and I said, you know what? I'm just going to quit my financially stable job because money at the end of the day isn't everything. You got to make sure that you're happy. That's what matters most. So I took that stance, and the way I got started with 3D Chat Buddy is during that time, emojis and avatars were trending. They were really hot, and it was my passion. I was engrossed with 3D animation, and I was actually going to start up a company called Create Me, where you can create emojis on your cell phones and then attach it to any tangible object like a shirt, a hat. So it's going to be like an e-commerce platform, commingled with the fact that you can send these animated emojis via text, right? But it was just too expensive to get started. So I figured since technology and emojis were my strengths, then I'm going to focus on that and perform extensive market research on what's trending right now and how to make best use of my time. So I spent the next 1 or 2 years researching the market extensively. Actually, I kind of went out on a tangent and I tried various other business models like drop shipping, affiliate marketing. They were a little bit successful, but not enough to the point where they were going to pay the bills, unfortunately. And so, it hit me hard because I felt like I was just wasting time. All my friends were moving forward and I was moving backwards until I met one of my friends online. He is one of the closest friends that was willing to offer his time and his advice for free. And he's a marketing genius. He told me like how to get started with my idea. And I did some more extensive research on the chatbot market. I landed on a couple of articles online that I found, and they said that chatbots are the future. So I dug deeper into it. In fact, just to give you some statistics, chatbots, the chatbot industry, it's actually trending to be worth 9.4 billion in 2024. So in 2019, it was 2.6. It's projecting to be 9.4 billion in 2024. So it's a huge, lucrative, sustainable market. And I talked to my friend about how can I get started in this market? And I wanted to put my own spin to it. I'm all about creativity and innovation. I just did not want to create a plain vanilla chatbot. And he told me that the best way to do this is, since you like 3D avatars and animation, why don't you pair the two together?
Hmm.
And I was like, huh, how come I didn't think about that? I mean, the answer was right in front of my face in terms of innovation. And from that moment on, it was a genius idea, and I decided to take on the next 3 to 4 years of my life, learning everything from scratch. I call myself a self-starter, because that's what I am. I learned everything all on my own. I had no real-world experience as to how to build a website, outsource certain aspects of your business overseas, how to get all the legal and accounting work started. I did all that on my own, let alone having to now worry about the marketing behind the business. And another fun statistic that I forgot to mention was 95% of website visitors that actually land on your websites, they end up leaving after about a minute or two. And what's worse for business owners is that they don't have any transparency as to why they left. And that was like my aha moment. I saw that there was a big problem, and I wanted to find a solution to put a patch on that hole, so that at least business owners can be able to see what is happening behind the scenes. And the best way to do that is through a chatbot. So I took my marketing friends' advice into consideration, and I went on and spent the next 3, 4 years of my life doing some more researching, connecting with more people, and that's how 3D Chat Buddy was born.
What an amazing story. That's really awesome. Um, Thanks for sharing. So let's go into the next area of wins. So what's your biggest win you've had, and what did you learn from it on a high level?
My biggest win year to date was the fact that I landed a large evergreen spot on AppSumo. If you
Hmm.
guys don't know what AppSumo is, it's one of the largest digital e-commerce marketplaces on the net, and their acceptance rate is less than 2%. It's actually worse than getting into Harvard University. So the
Wow.
fact that they accepted my product over thousands of applicants, I mean, I'm humbly grateful for that. And what did I learn from this experience? Make sure that your perseverance is made out of steel, not out of water. You're going to be hit with a lot of with a lot of roadblocks, and you just got to make sure you find a way to plow through all of that noise, all the negative people that just like to suppress your motivation. Plow through it. So make sure your motivation is as hard as steel. Second thing that I learned from that experience is to actually believe in yourself. And I don't mean to say it as a cliche, because a lot of people say that. I actually mean it. Like, believe in yourself, believe in your product, and don't let any outside noise get in the way of that. When you have a vision, when you have a goal, and you believe in yourself, you're literally going to be unstoppable. And the third thing that I learned from that is pray to God that He can open up a big door for you, and believe in all miracles, because they do happen.
That's quite remarkable, because I know more people who have not qualified and got on to AppSumo than I know that actually got on. So now I can say I know one more person who got on AppSumo. So congrats on that. That's really big. Now
Thank
let's
you.
talk about the failure. So I know we don't like to talk about failure, but it's there. We all have to learn from it, like you were saying, which was really important. But what is, at a high level, what's the one biggest failure you've had, and what did you learn from that?
Yeah, that's a good question, Tony. So I've had numerous failures, but I would say the one that stands out is the fact that I didn't do a good enough job in engaging in strategic planning and research. So
Hmm.
what do I mean by that? Whenever you're going to engage in a life-changing event, a life-changing decision, I don't care how big or small that is, always make sure you look at it from a bird's eye view. Look at it 180 degrees, and do extensive research plan at the forefront, because it's going to save you so much time down the road. And when you do that, you're a lot more efficient and effective with your time. The fact that I just kind of reacted off emotion because I just wanted to quit my job because I hated my life, and I wanted to do something more impactful for the world. I've always been a problem solver. I've always, you know, puzzles were my thing growing up, and I was always the first one to put the puzzle together in my class. So that's how my mind works. But the biggest failure that I've encountered is the fact that I just didn't take enough time to just sit back, recollect, and think through things thoroughly. before reacting off my emotions. And that cost me an insurmountable amount of time and money, unfortunately. What did I learn from this experience, or how did I become better? I think that was your second question. I just became more, smarter and more methodical. So before I actually make a decision for my company, I don't care how small it is. I think through it analytically from A to Z. Yes, that might take a lot of time at the forefront, but it's going to save me a lot of money and time going forward.
Beautiful. Loved it. And let's talk about expenses. So what's your biggest business expense as of today?
I would go with customer acquisition by far.
Your
That's without a
COA.
doubt.
Got
Yeah.
it. What about your favorite online business tool? What's that right now for you?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Let's see here. Well, actually, it's not so tough because it's a no-brainer, Tony. I mean, it's got to be 3D Chat Buddy a million times, right? That goes
Yeah.
without saying. But maybe, so let's just rephrase the question. What's my favorite unbiased online business tool? I would probably go with right now Canva. That sits at the top of the list. If you guys don't know what Canva is, it's a free marketing tool that you can use to create engaging posts on all social media platforms. You can think of it as your creative arts, Adobe Photoshop on steroids. It's free, it's simple, and it's easy to use.
Awesome. And the next part is, you mentioned COA, cost of acquisition, significantly high for you. So let's talk about that. What's your best source of acquiring clients? What's your best source for, your getting high value clients right now?
I would say my number one source is referrals, but I'm not banking off that. I will get into referrals later. We're doing obviously social media marketing, and a good hack, secret hack that I found out that a lot of marketers don't know is try to join like clubs, communities, forums, super targeted forums within your niche market. So my niche market right now is chatbots, obviously. So I go on Reddit, right? I join these groups. I go on a Facebook group. I join these groups. I'm not marketing my product because nobody wants to hear a salesman talk to them at the end of the day. What I'm doing is I'm adding value to the conversation. I'm upvoting, some of their comments, and when they see that upvote, then they're going to go back to my comment and upvote me. So my comment and my post will be higher, right, in
Nice.
the chain of command. So that just produces more visibility in a non-salesy way. So I'm using Reddit, Capterra. We just actually got accepted on Capterra's platform just the other day ago.
Nice.
If you guys don't know what Capterra is, it's a website where you go and review SaaS and software related products. They're actually ranked, I think, 77 on Google. Their domain authority is ranked 77, so it is a pretty high ranking site on Google. And so I'm using social media marketing. I'm going on these groups and forums and referrals. Don't overlook or underlook referrals. I am not a typical marketer. I believe in the concept of value and camaraderie. And so I don't care how big or small the client is to me. Whether they're a new or an existing client, I treat them right from the start. I feed them a buffet of items. That's what I do. And one way I do this is I don't just give them a free crappy ebook that's going to probably change within the next month or so because of how dynamic technology is. I give them something of value, like an asset that they can use for their business. And one good example is I create a video that's personalized for their business. I get their logo, I get their contact details, I feed it into my video marketing software. Yeah, it might take 30, 60 minutes of my time, but you'll be surprised on how many referrals you'll get if you follow my methods to the letter, because the business owner is going to come back and see that, wow, Joe took a lot of time to create this video. He didn't have to do that. It probably cost him $200 of his time, and he went ahead and gave that to me for free. I'm going to go to my way and give Joe some referrals because that's the least that I can do.
Beautiful. Let's talk about, there's got to be a question that I haven't asked and I should be asking. So, if any, so feel free to share that with our listeners. What's one question that I should have asked you that I didn't? So, what would that be?
I would go with what's your mantra, Joe? What do you live by? I actually have a mnemonic similar to a mantra. I live by the triple P's: prayer, patience, and perseverance. They have taken me this far, and I know for a fact they're going to take me even farther.
Awesome. And so as we're coming to a close here, let our listeners know how they could get a hold of you. What's your preferred method of communication? How they could speak to you if they have any questions about 3D Chat Buddy or some of the things that you said about your business model. How could they get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can reach out to me personally via email. So I'll give you my personal Gmail address, and I'll say it really slowly so you guys can have some time jotting it down. It's joe87.george@gmail.com. You can also reach out to me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, all the above, LinkedIn. And if you need like direct links to those platforms, I'll go ahead and send it to Tony and he can go ahead and send it off after the interview's done.
Definitely. I'll put that in the show notes. And here we are. We're coming to a close. So, what is your one word close as we're signing off?
Persevere, guys. Persevere.
Nice. Well, everybody, there you have it. There's Joe with 3D Chat Buddy. He's self-taught. He started with Ernest and Young, and look at where he is now. He got on AppSumo. His COA is the highest cost of business expense, and he's crushing it. And he talked about his triple P's, and I'm super excited. And once again, I wanted to personally thank you for coming on here and sharing your wisdom and sharing your experience and what you're all about. So our audience will greatly appreciate that. And till next week, we'll see you guys later. Bye, Joe.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. Take care.
See you. Bye.